So Tony Khan, in an interview with SportsIllustrated.com, stated that he's going to be releasing, well, he promoted this on Collision, but basically he reaffirmed that he's going to be, that the footage that he's going to release, or they at AEW via the Bucks, are going to release on Wednesday, tomorrow night, the backstage footage from Wembley to All In 2023 is legit. It's on the up and up. And I'm one of the firm belief that I don't think that's entirely true, that I think it's going to be something entirely different. It may not be the footage people are expecting, and if it's exactly what, some people are feeling, like it may not be what we're expecting, it may be a parody or whatever, it's not a good look for Tony Khan. It really isn't. And, we'll just have to wait and see what happens tomorrow night. But here's the thing. He said something else in this interview as well, as to the other reason he's doing it, as to the other real reason why he's doing it. And that reason being is to garner interest, in the AEW product, starting with Dynamite and then bleeding into Collision, and then as a result bleeding into the Dynasty pay-per-view. And a lot of people looked at this and they're like, really? Really, Tony? That's why you're doing this? Because you want to garner interest, in your product? You want people to be invested in, or become invested into your product? So you're promoting, something that possibly features behind the scenes footage of somebody that's not even there, someone that you quote unquote fired, but they say oppositely they quit, and another person that technically is still under contract with you, but he's more importantly right now wrestling in Japan. It's like, are you that desperate? Are you that desperate to get people to tune into your product and watch? Are you that desperate for ratings? Well, I guess with this being the time frame of, media rights renewal, then I would say yes, he is desperate. But he's also easily frazzled. Yeah, he's easily frazzled. We have seen, countless times, over and over and over again, how frazzled he'll be just by somebody saying something, from WWE, or somebody that used to work for AEW and is now working someplace else. We've seen how easily frazzled he can get when they, in their own way, call him out on his BS, or what they would consider his BS. So, for him to get frazzled here and be put into a desperation mode where it's like, okay, I gotta counter this. I gotta find a way to get people to take their eyes off WWE and put their eyes on me. For him to go into this kind of a desperation mode for, for people's, and, for, fans, in his mind to get invested in his product, it's not a good look for him or his company. And I guarantee you the roster of talent there are in total agreement as well. They might be supportive of Tony Khan and trying to keep AEW going, but even they would be like, Tony, this is not a good idea, just let it go. I guarantee you Bryan Danielson has probably told him, let it go. I'm sure Adam Copeland has said, let it go. I'm sure Samoa Joe, Billy Gunn, all these veterans, these legends, or legends in the making, have told him, let it go. It's, it's over. It's done. Don't let yourself get so frazzled, by this. But yet he is. And some people would say that the reason he's doing this, is basically his own, is in their mind, they're looking at Tony Khan doing this, as a way of admitting, CM Punk right. That he's, and I'm not talking about what happened, behind the scenes, but mostly along the lines of he's not a boss. He's not a boss. He's just a nice guy. And that AEW is not really a business, because if it was, it wouldn't be pulling this kind of crap. But yet, here we are. Now, whether or not the footage is legit, or it's a parody skit, or it's not exactly what we're being, hyped up to believe, whatever the case is, it's not a good look. It's not. In fact, one of the thumbnails or in fact the thumbnail I should say, that JD has put up for his Tuesday Night Titans collab with Andrew Baydella, basically says it best. You know, and it's got a picture of Tony there with an AEW mic in his hand saying he's literally killing the business. And it's almost like Tony Khan's, you know, shield of invincibility, you know, is gone. That basically now he is so vulnerable to anything that WWE or other promotions do, that like I said, he gets easily frazzled. He lets it get under his skin too easily, and instead of just venting his frustrations in private or in a journal or whatever, he goes online and basically says, you know, what's on his mind, because he cannot basically accept, you know, other people's opinions. He can't. And that's, you know, that's a bad look for him. You know, that is indeed a bad look for him, and like I said, by extension, the company. You know, it really is. And look, here's the thing. Tony Khan should have realized, and this is the absolute truth, he should have realized that if what's going on over WWE is really getting to him, and, you know, and he's, you know, letting it, and he's basically, you know, just losing it because of what they're doing. You know, if Tony Khan, you know, is so upset by that, you know, that WWE is allowing their talents to go on, you know, shows like the MMA Hour and shoot, especially talents that used to work for him, and shoot and tell it like it is, then maybe, as the old saying goes, he shouldn't have poked the bear. Because that's what he did. He poked the bear when he put AEW on Wednesday nights head-to-head with NXT. He poked the bear. And every little shot he's taken, you know, towards WWE, towards the likes of NXT, you know, towards the likes of, you know, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, you know, it's coming back to bite him. And now, you know, with CM Punk saying what he did on the MMA Hour, and then on top of that, probably knowing that Cody Rhodes, one of his former EVPs, was going to get his moment, and that CM Punk was going to probably be there to celebrate with him, which we all saw on Sunday, you know, he probably pushed him over the edge even more. And that's not good. You know, that's not a good sign, or a good look, period. So, I don't know what's going on with Tony Khan's, I'm trying to find the right words to say. I don't know what's going on with Tony Khan's, you know, way of thinking, honestly. I was trying to find the right words to say before I had a brain fart there. But again, I don't know what his, you know, way of thinking is. But I can say this: this is not good for. This is not a good look for him. It's not a good look for AEW. It's not a good look for them, you know, trying to get a media rights renewal. You know, it's not. You know, and it's just proving CM Punk, you know, and everybody else that has felt the same way CM Punk has. It's proving them right. You know, it's proving them right that Tony Khan is not a boss. He might be a nice guy. He might do nice things here and there for his talent, but he's not a boss. You know, because a real boss would not do this kind of stuff. They would not stoop to such pettiness, you know, like what he's doing. I mean, I'm not saying that hasn't happened in the wrestling business. You know, it has, but not to this level. Not to this level. But, yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. But let me know what your thoughts are in this whole situation.